What's going on, people? Good evening. How y'all doing this evening? We are back for another episode of Brothers Vent 2. It is what is going on with T? Oh, it is I, Dr. Swift, coming to you from Houston, Texas, by way of Lake Village, Arkansas. And tonight I'm drinking on trying to finish this gallon, but it may not happen.
Yo, this your boy T, man, out the A from live on that water tonight. I'm keeping it very simple, man. Got a little headache when we gonna rock out.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Rob coming to you from sunny Tampa, Florida, by way of Bolton, Mississippi. I'm drinking on some Fasada tonight. Really good red wine. Let's get right to it.
What's going on, y'all? It's Jay Ward coming to you from Shreveport, Louisiana. I just want to say I'm drinking tequila, and I want to hit y'all with my first prove me wrong. So I want y'all to listen up. Just want to say that Laura Winslow is the most toxic character of the 90s. You don't have to agree that I'm right. Just come in the comments and try to prove me wrong. Let's go.
Yo, yeah, she definitely trash.
Definitely.
Definitely trash.
Steve gotta love himself, man. He ain't love himself.
Yes,
Tomorrow was the
man.
finest one, but we
Love
getting
yourself,
outside.
Kings.
This your boy CJB here from Atlanta by way of Edwards, Mississippi. I'm drinking a little water tonight too, trying to get back on my fitness goals and shit.
Already.
Same
What
here.
up?
I definitely fell off. I'm getting fat again. And Pat, stop hating. I am a doctor. I'm claiming. My grandma said claim it. Everybody in the comments said claim it, so I'm claiming it. But moving on, let's get right into it. We've been dealing with this pandemic. Jay Ward been getting DMs left and right and turning them down because he married. But he been. so
Fake news.
I just wanna ask this question. LLPOS. I just want to ask this question. They said Moesha been running.
Definitely. Definitely.
How has the pandemic? Because we see the Facebook posts, we see the Instagram posts, we see people shooting their shots. But I want to ask y'all, how has the pandemic affected y'all relationship and y'all dating life? Because it's only so much you can do when everything is shut down. You spend a lot more time with your significant other. Y'all around each other a lot more often. You gotta move around finances and find different ways to take care of your children and school and everything else. The pandemic has affected us in a lot of different ways. So I want to ask y'all, Moesha Trey. I want to ask y'all this: how has the pandemic affected y'all dating life and y'all relationship? And in the comments, how's it affected y'all dating life and relationship? Because if you got to find your person through a Facebook post, it's
Man,
kind of crazy.
the pandemic fucked shit up, man. Like concerts used to be me and my wife thing. Concerts, comedy shows, all they got shut down. But man, we try to do like, movie nights and stuff. And sometimes we do just have to go out to eat and just make sure that we sitting away from everybody. I think they had an event going on in Atlanta at the Botanical Gardens where they had the park decorated in lights. So that's something I took her to last night, but it was outside. But I will say it's been challenging, so to speak, because it's not a lot you can do, especially when you're trying to stay virus free. Because it's like a lot of stuff you used to do, you probably can't do anymore. So, but you got to be creative, though. I say that. Like I think the movie nights, because you were going to the movies a lot thing too. Like we'll go to the dollar store, sneak candy in and shit, just like everybody else. But you can't even go up in there no more. So we got to try to do it at the house.
I guess so. You saying you all got to be creative and come up with different ways to give your woman some intimacy and attention and keep her happy. Gotcha. What about you, Rob? What you been doing?
Yeah, so my relationship is like the normal relationship because of my job. I'm usually gone a lot. So I value all the time I do have at home. And so while most people may be getting tired of being around the person that they're with, I'm the opposite because in the 11 years me and Fee been together, I've been 4 and 3. I've been at one point from 14 to 17, I was gone somewhere every month. It wasn't a deployment, but I was in the air every single month for 3 years from 14 to 17. So for me, it's caused us to spend more time together, but you do have to be extremely creative as far as, trying to find things to do. We also have a house full of kids. And so before the pandemic, it was hard for us to have a date night. Like, we don't really trust our kids with a lot of people. We're not around a lot of family. So it's hard to find somebody you can trust to keep your kids overnight while you go and do what you got to do. But we've actually found it's been easier since the pandemic has started for us to find babysitters because nobody's doing anything. So we've actually been able to do some, race car racing. We've been able to go to the movies a lot safely. Been able to go out to eat safely. We actually had something here. I mean, it's been an eye-opening experience because a lot of people's jobs and a lot of people's activities get in the way of them. It's like an excuse for them not to be around the person that they live with. And so this kind of forces you to actually be around the person that you chose to be with, and just enjoy their presence. You don't really have to do anything, but just enjoy their presence. So I think he and I haven't killed each other yet. So I think that's a success story. She hadn't killed me, ain't killed her. So that's a success story, I believe, because we've been spending a lot more time around each other than we have probably since before we got married.
And with that being said, Robert, let me ask you this. What advice would you have to give to those that are trying to date, that are single and trying to date during this pandemic, trying to find their significant other, find a partner? What would you say to them?
I would say be super blunt and honest. I would say be super safe. I would also say be very aware because there are a whole bunch of homosexuals out here looking for a place to stay because people have lost their jobs. People, are short on money. So I would say for the dudes and the women, be very careful who you give your time to and be very careful who you spend your money on because a lot of people are out here to use as opposed to actually getting to know someone. So you have to have a super high level of discernment to be able to identify who is for real and who's not for real. So I think it kind of forces you to kind of get to know yourself, spend some time with yourself, because a lot of people stay busy, so they don't have to deal with the demons that they have within themselves. So I think this is a perfect time to get to know yourself, spend some time with yourself, love on yourself, and then come out of this thing knowing who you are so you know what you can look forward to or look to in a person.
We got you. Piccolo is black.
What's going on, y'all? Just want to say happy Founders Week to everybody. Sigmas, AKAs, Deltas, and our lovely Soros tomorrow. So happy Founders Day to everybody. I agree with a lot of things that have been said, but I do think there are a lot of wins and losses when it comes to dating and being in a relationship during the pandemic, because having more time with your significant other may be a good thing for certain people, but it may be a bad thing for other people. I think a lot of things are being exposed during this time. Like, a lot of people are realizing how much they don't like their significant other, or how much they don't have in common. And it's just real, because when you are always at work or always on the go, you don't really get a chance to spend that much time with a person. But I think a lot of good has come to it, from it as well. Like everybody was saying, it has improved creativity. You have to be more creative with the dates. You really don't want to go bowling and touch the same ball that everybody else is touching, wear those shoes, and you're in a confined space. So that's something that has improved. You have to be more creative. You have to communicate more. Another bad thing is that a lot of people can't be as spontaneous because the corona might be over there, so you really can't be that creative. But it does show that you have to do more than just Netflix and chill. I saw Pat in the comments talking about Netflix and chill, but you just can't do that all the time. So that does get old, but it has brought back a lot of things like outdoor concerts, outdoor plays, drive-in movies, and things like that. So I definitely think it's been a good thing. And One question that I had, and Swift kind of hit on it, but how do you go about meeting someone right now? It would be confusing to, or just I know it would be hard to just go out and meet someone because, like Swift said, you are meeting people more on the internet than ever before because of the pandemic. So, in the comments, I would like for somebody to reflect on that, just how difficult it is to meet someone, especially being that you never physically met. And I do agree with you, Rob, that reflection time is very powerful because you can reflect on what you want and you can reflect on some of the things that you're lacking in your own life and some of the things that you want. So, yeah.
I'm about to start put people out the comments. Number one, first of all, the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. Number two, not shout out any AKAs because they don't text back. That's number two. Number three, the Zetas definitely don't get no love. And number four, I saw somebody else said somebody wanted to touch on. Leave my dad alone. T, what you think?
Yo, I mean, it's pretty much what everybody was saying, man. At the beginning of the pandemic, it was all, happy, like, dang, man, I'm at the crib finally. I get to work from home finally. My old lady get to work from home finally. So, a lot of good times. But you already know some of that gonna wear off as the months go on.
Right.
And especially she a teacher, so I know all the damn little kids' names in the class. I know who the bad ones. I'm like, dang, man, that boy Brock up here tripping again. It's crazy. But like Corey was saying, like going to the movies was our thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, and we were talking about that the other day. Like, man, you know how many times we used to go to the movie like every week or whatever. And, so now we ain't really got our thing. So it's more in the house, Netflix, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, we still go out because we go out to eat, but I'm taking Corona very, very serious. So I ain't really doing too much of nothing. So I mean, it has played a toll, took a toll on our relationship a little bit, But that's with any relationship, man. You got them ups, you got them downs, stuff like that. So I can't complain though, because I think we learned a lot about each other during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like we focus on a lot of goals that we want to accomplish and goals that I want to accomplish and a whole bunch of reflection and just so I'm looking at all of this as a plus, man. Like I finally, like I said, finally was able to work from home. I proved to the company that I could do my job from my phone. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling them this for 5 years, but finally it take the pandemic for them to let me sit my ass on the couch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that relationship, man, we going pretty good though, man. We having fun over here, man.
Hold on now, because Queen talking about some rare breed. No, alpha beta men are the tip top. If you want to get married, you want a serious relationship, find you a man of alpha beta. I don't know how many times I gotta say this episode, 38? Everybody on this podcast, except me, is either married or in a serious relationship, and I'm about to finish my dissertation. So I don't know what other proof y'all want.
Swift said he high value. What y'all coming with?
High value. I don't know what else. I really don't know. Like the proof is in the pudding. Now, no more comments. But moving forward, so
mute the comments, Swift.
I'm gonna read the scroll up. Sheila said, "Nigga, ain't our fault. You texting the wrong folk. They still AKAs. You still don't get no text back." Rob, we did a versus date night. Order food, put the kids to bed, dance, and had a good time. Got dressed up and everything. But that take creativity. That take actually loving the person you're with, and not just being in love, but having a great relationship and liking the person, like being around and spending that time with them. Because I see a lot of couples are starting to find out, I really don't like being.
Really don't like this nigga, man.
Yeah.
It's been a lot.
Go ahead, T.
Now, just saying, I've been seeing a lot of sub tweets, a lot of sub statuses. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we know you talking about your old man. Quit trying to, you know what I'm saying, talking codes on Facebook and Twitter. We know who you talking about, man.
Then you want to handle your business.
Yeah, man, posting all these fake confident memes and stuff. Come on, man.
Yep. And then we see people that has been dating all under people pictures and with heart eyes and saying, let me see if are your DMs open and I'm single. Like the pandemic really has exposed that a lot of people aren't as compatible or who we thought they were. And if you're in Atlanta, you probably can go to a bar or something. They don't believe in Corona in Atlanta. They out in these streets.
Man,
It don't exist.
they wide open out here, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
Man, what the wild thing about Atlanta, man, I feel like Atlanta is the travel destination since most cities shut down. People travel to Atlanta to kick it. Atlanta's still a Republican state, technically, still a Republican-led state. So, they keeping shit open.
So same here, man. The beaches and the restaurants, man. Florida been wide open. They got all kinds of
Texas
stuff
too.
going on here.
Houston, Houston
Bro,
too. They out in these streets. They at Prospect Park. They still at Turkey Leg Hut. They still at the address. They out in these streets.
bro,
But
when they told me Disney World was still open and
They
Universal
got the Super
Studios and
Bowl
all
game.
that,
Super
I
Bowl
like
in 2
Florida.
weeks here in Tampa, man. Wide open.
Oh yeah.
If you ever been to Disney World, it's like ain't no social distancing at Disney World, especially when you're trying to ride the rides and shit. So that shit is wild. I
Right.
can understand a beach because you can find your own spot at the beach, but the theme park, hell no.
Quinn said the Zetas gave the Alphas back the K's after '07. And then it went to the Q's, didn't it?
Whoa.
I ain't getting into that. Yeah, you know how I feel about the pain, so I ain't that pain.
We might have to talk about Greek life one day on the show.
Nah, sub me out.
We might have to.
Sub me out.
We might have to.
Right.
Any final thoughts on this one?
Nah, we Gucci, man. We Gucci look like.
All right, so I guess no final thoughts. We'll wrap it up on the end. But I'm pretty sure everyone is going to be off work Monday. We are celebrating Martin Luther King and his birthday. And one of the things we want to talk about on the show tonight was the impact of positive black males in the black community. And I intentionally put positive black males in front of the black community because I'm just talking about any black males, talking about positive role models, positive influences, not rap music or
Andrew Gilliams, not the Andrew Gilliams, not the rapper.
What
Corey,
I went there.
Oh, you can say it.
Why y'all hating on the rappers, man? Dang, bro. Hold on, no.
Well, my bad. I just repeated what Swill said. My bad.
I think he's referring to celebrities as a whole. Like,
Yeah, so exactly. The entertainment industry, right?
Okay.
Of Martin Luther King's birthday. How important is it to have positive black role models on the forefront in the black community, being mentors, leading the black youth, and showing them that there is other alternatives to what they see on social media or in the entertainment industry? That's what I want to talk about because we don't talk about that enough. We don't see it enough, but we do have a large impact in the black community and it's positive. So you can talk about the lack of, you can talk about the Andrew Gillums or the Lil Babies or the whoever, but how important is it? And Corey, I'll start with you since you started off. You got something to get off your chest.
No, it was pretty much when you said positive. Like when I say positive role models, the ones that do not have skeletons in the closet, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So it's
I
not
feel like,
gentrified.
huh?
Nothing.
Say what?
Nothing.
I feel like, and it's just my personal opinion. I feel like black men aren't celebrated, especially dark black men. Like I feel like when you look, and I don't want to get into the whole colorism debate, but when you look at television and you look at how black men are marketed, more than likely you're going to see a light-skinned black male. And I can't stand how people say that black men aren't involved with their kids in the community because black men are the most active in their kids' lives. Like all the people I know, most of them are active in their kids' life. Like they be at everything. You know what I'm saying? And you hear this stigma around that black men are deadbeats and we don't do this and we don't do that. But I feel like the influence of a positive African American male in a kid's life would change the trajectory of their life. Like you can't reach everybody, and that's just what it is. But if somebody in that kid's life, whether it's a coach, a teacher, a pastor, somebody who's in the family, eventually that kid is going to watch how that man lives and he's going to implement those same practices in his own life. So, and it's like, of course, nobody's perfect, but when I say skeletons, I mean people who live a separate life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talk bad about Andrew Gilliam a lot because that man, he's a disappointment, man. That
It
man
hurt,
had
man. It
potential.
hurt.
That shit hurt, bro. The
Yeah,
man
it
had
hurt.
potential to be. The man had potential to be presidential, man. I'm talking about the brother is articulate. The brother has a black family. The brother is HBCU educated, and he lived a whole separate life. Now, if you look at Daniel Cameron is the opposite of what I'm talking about. Daniel Cameron is articulate as well, but of course, he lived on the other side. He chose the other side. But from a dark skinned black male's point of view, you don't see you don't see that many positive male images publicized that much. Not gonna say it's not any, but you don't see them that much.
And I'm gonna go to Jay Ward next, but be thinking about this too. Why not? What's hindering us from being on the forefront? Jay Ward, incorporate this when you talk. Now I feel like it's gonna go left, but
Whoa, bro. Let me. Ooh,
we
never
gonna see.
mind.
Go ahead,
Uh,
Jay.
First, of course, the fact remains that just having the family construct is important, and just having positive people around and positive men. I can say that once I said that I never met a legit man until I was 12, and a lot of men in my family just really looked at me sideways, and I guess they felt hurt about that. But I'm just like, as far as what I look at as successful, I was like 12 or 13 the first time I really met a black man like that. But those type of people are super important in our lives, and I think that not only the traditional positive people, but positive people from all walks of life. And what I mean by that is that I know a lot of, gay brothers that are very positive, and they get a bad rap from our community because of their sexual orientation. And I don't care about that at all, as long as you're doing what you got to do for the neighborhood. And that's just my whole thing. Like, I don't really care what you got going on, as long as you are positive, and you can be positive, and representation is important on that. We had a play at Jackson State called New Beginnings, and it was about the stereotypes of black men. And one of the things that it talked about is, hey, there are black men with multiple kids or multiple baby mothers, but that doesn't mean you have to conduct yourself in a way of neglecting them. You can take care of your kids and still be a good man. You can have multiple kids and still do this. You can have a rough background and still be a positive influence. I think the big homie, and I've said this before, but once the big homie kind of left the neighborhood, or just, you know, the big homies kind of stopped looking out for little kids, and that really hurt our neighborhoods a lot. Because when you have that big homie who just pushing knowledge to you, hey, little one, don't get into what I did, don't do this, don't do that, and like now it's like the big homie trying to get the little kids in trouble, and I don't understand that at all. There was a kid who brought some smoke back to my grandma's neighborhood, and I'm like, man, you don't bring violence back to your own neighborhood. Who taught you this? Like, you if you are gonna be a hardhead, you go do that somewhere else, and then you go home. So I definitely think having that uncle figure, or that pastor figure, or that fireman, or that teacher, or whatever, even the trash man, the janitor at McDonald's. Like, I had a really good strong influence that was a custodian, and I really think that those people are just vital, and we have to listen to them. And I know we want to teach our kids that, hey, you need to be college educated, which is a good thing, but that's not everybody's path. So you need to treat a blue collar worker with the same respect that you treat a white collar worker. And I want to hit on what Corey was saying. I don't think that positive means perfect, which he came back and said that, but everybody got something that they're dealing with. And I just don't want to But and then like he was saying about the colorism, not to go too deep into it, but every commercial I see has a mixed family, and it's just like they want these mixed looking people, and I'm cool with that, but it's just like it's intentional at this point because it's just to say that we don't really want the dark skinned bigger brother, we want the mixed brother who looks like this because projections have shown that in the next whatever years that's what the American person will look like, a person who you can't tell which ethnicity they come from. So
Man,
Yeah. But let me go to the comments real quick. because-
hold on, Swift. I got an objection.
Go ahead.
Now, y'all light skinned niggas ran the 80s, and then in the 90s, it was nothing but the dark skinned dudes, and women didn't want to tolerate light skinned dudes. It's all about dark skinned dudes until maybe Steph Curry 8 years ago. Now y'all mad.
no,
Now y'all
no,
mad. Y'all coming back.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah. When
First of all,
was the light
I'm
skinned
not
dude?
light skinned.
I'm
I'm not
just
light
saying, y'all acting
skinned.
like
Swift is
dark
light skinned.
skinned men wasn't running
Who
for the
likes
last
skin?
20 years,
Swift.
bro.
I'm
Name-
dark skinned, ho.
Wesley Snipes, Martin, Denzel. Come on, man. What you talking
Okay, you
about?
name three. You name three. What names
I'm
some
just
more? I didn't say we didn't. I didn't say the dark skinned men didn't have any images. I'm saying it wasn't a lot of them.
it was a lot of images, bro. Lawrence Fishburne,
But
like
no,
all these
T
dudes,
T
bro.
T. Let me
Now,
point this out though.
Hold
If you
on.
look at
Hold on.
T,
We get sidetracked. We'll come back. We'll come back. Let me go.
I just had to stir the pot. I had to stir the pot.
But now let me read a few comments and ask this question.
Alright.
That's a good point. I met a few successful black men who have stated that another positive black man changed their life. J. Bell, black men in education usually always have major influence for young men and young women. I personally know a man who sacrificed his life to be present for his kids. That's the ultimate definition of a great man model. Continue to sow into our young people. Hey, Grandma.
Hey,
hey, Grandma.
I think we answered the question about being deemed wealthy or to be a positive black role model, but she followed up with, I asked because most young males won't look at or to the man with morals over the man with money. So combining that, what's stopping black men from being positive black role models? And to piggyback off her question, but to ask her question, why is it that the man with money is the one that's looked to over the man who's doing the good for his community, that has morals, who may not be flashy? Rob, can you step in for that one?
Yeah, so man, it's a question I kind of asked myself throughout my entire life. So I grew up in a little Southern Baptist church, and there was this guy named Johnny B. Stewart. Man, he was married, had a wife, had 2 daughters. I didn't know how much money he made. I didn't know what he did for a living, but I know his wife always had a running vehicle. He always had a running vehicle. His wife was always put together. His kids was always put together. He was at church. He went to work. He was at the barbershop, and he went home. For some reason, that is not flashy enough for a lot of us. Doing what you're supposed to do, i.e., taking care of your family, having a job, taking care of your kids, and going home is not the cool thing. And I think we need to reinstitute that as being the cool thing. It's something that I heard Dane Baxter, I watched a lot of his videos. He was like, us sticking together should be made cool. You taking care of your kids should be made cool. You taking care of your lady should be cool. But that's not the cool thing for us. We thrive off of drama. Like, you hear more about how many dudes cheated than how many dudes is at home taking care of their lady and their kids. And I don't understand the allure with constantly talking about who's cheating as opposed to who's a great dude. He's sticking up for his lady, he's taking care of his kids, he's taking care of his business. And on the flip side, I don't think a lot of women appreciate when they have a dude that's taking care of his business and that's doing what he's supposed to do, and they have no idea how many women would want that. A guy that's taking care of his business, a guy that's paying the bills, a guy who's footing, he's got the burden on his back, he got the battery on his back, he's making sure everybody's taken care of, he's not asking for a lot, and he's just doing his business. That's not flashy enough. And I think that's something that I don't know where it came from. I'm pretty sure it has something to do or tied to somewhere within racism because everything that we do, everything that we have done or that we currently do, if you look at the history, it's somehow tied to racism. And that's something I'm learning as I get older, man. Every single thing that's embedded in us that we do, that we like to see, and that we focus on has something to do with racism if it's negative. And so I believe positive black male role models aren't in the forefront because they aren't flashy enough. Like it's not flashy to just take care of your business as a black guy. If you do, they paint you as the exception and not the rule. Because if you paint all black men as well, the majority of the black men as responsible men, taking care of their business, trying to down a woman, not beating women, not doing all the negative stereotypes that they say black men do, then it completely throws out the whole negative allure around black men. So they have to make us the exception and not the rule. And so I think the only way to combat that is as men, we have to celebrate one another. I think that's what we need to do. We need to celebrate, my brother that's, going to work, trying to find another job to take care of his family. He's flying across the country to see his one child. He's at home taking care of these other kids. He's paying the bills. He's doing this. He's trying to get his degree. I think we need to celebrate one another.
You say paying out the bills. I don't know if there's something that need to be celebrated because we saw the man go viral.
That shit sucks, nigga. That shit sucks, nigga. Do not do it. Don't do it. Don't go down the rabbit hole. That shit sucks, nigga. I can throw a book at this boy.
I gotta do it. So we saw the man go viral, and I know it's gonna get off topic a little bit, but go viral talking about he paid all the bills. He ain't his wife don't have to pay not one bill. She ain't paid not one bill in the last 18 years. And if I remember correctly, they got a divorce.
They're in the process.
Yeah,
we're looking bad for him.
I don't know if we can paint paying all the bills as being a good role model.
So let me repaint that. Taking care of your responsibilities. I'll say that. Okay. Because that's an overarching thing. Because for some people, footing the bills is what they feel like is taking care of business. For other people, it's, paying the big bills. Or for other people, it's, taking care of the finances, outlining all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think we need to celebrate each other more and focus less on the lesser of us and focus more on the positivity within us. Because each one of us, we aren't perfect dudes, but at the same time, do your imperfections outweigh your perfections? And for a lot of people, they do not. And so as you work on your imperfections, we have to start focusing on our perfections and make taking care of your business cool again. Right. That's what we need to do.
Absolutely. I didn't know he was abusive and a horrible father, but
man, he wasn't the best father. I will say that. Kind of abusive. I don't know if I would say kind of abusive. He just an old black man. He just an old black man, bro. You know how them old dudes it was, bro. Like they ain't know no better. I actually think the dude did the best that he thought he was doing the best that he could, but he wasn't in actuality. You know what I'm saying?
His heart was in the right place, but he didn't have it all together.
Yeah, he didn't have the skills to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So talk to me. I know you was in the entertainment industry. Why do you think that the entertainment industry is celebrated over those black men who may not get all the shine that's not flashy?
Okay, so let's go down the woke hole for the woke bros. You know what I'm saying? The reason why you don't see positive black images is because we don't own any media. Black people don't own the media. So again, the black male is a source of currency. So they will shove all the negativity in your face to fund the industrial prison complex. That's the reason. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna go down the woke hole with y'all tonight because I can go, you know what I'm saying, real deep with this systematic racism. Why they don't want to see us in these positive lights because they want us to go to jail. They want to make money off, lawyer fees and all that stuff. So anyway, y'all know where I'm going with that. but I do think that as far as positive black people in the community, you can get positivity out of anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like the neighborhood crackhead can tell you something that'll change your life. You know what I'm saying? Some of my biggest partners were the biggest dope boys, and they taught me the best, you know what I'm saying, things about being a man and loyalty and the bro code and not fucking over your people and stuff like that. So, you know, on one hand, nobody's perfect, of course, because you a detriment to your community. But then on the other hand, you can still learn something from these people. The thing is, people don't have balance. Like people were mad at Cardi B for not listening to her song while her kid was in the room, and so they call her a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm parenting my kid. That's what y'all need to be doing, and don't let these entertainers raise your children. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that we gotta get this thing together as a people, because, like Rob was saying, people don't people don't want to see people celebrate it. We put more weight on the negativity. We put more weight on the
Yeah.
rumors. Shade Room has 100 billion followers. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? But somebody like Boyce Watkins or one of those spiritual culture pages only had like 10,000.
that's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? But that goes again to we don't own the media, so we need to focus on owning the media and showing portraying our image to the world how we want it to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like the directors, like Ava DuVernay, you know, people that put together real great stories about black people. We need to like champion these people, man, instead of champion, you know, the reality shows and you know the trash.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Any other comments?
Swift.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I just want to say that I do agree, but that's not exclusive to our race. You look at a person like um, Robert Downey Jr. You know, he's made his life off controversy. Um, Johnny Depp, Justin Bieber, like that happens in other cultures as well. But the difference is they have other positive influences that they highlight to balance that out. It's just like there's nothing to balance us out. Like they highlight all of the negativity from us and none of the positive outside of hip hop artists and athletes. So it's no balance. So I
Right.
think that's what it is. There's no balance.
Plus,
Yeah.
people in general, black and white people, are more forgiving of white people when they mess up than they are of
Mm-hmm.
black people when we mess up, which is because of white supremacy. That's literally the reason why. It's been ingrained in our spirit to see a white dude mess up, and then we can watch him in Iron Man and then applaud him. Like
Yep.
it's ingrained in us to forgive them for what they do, but hold everything over us when we mess up for life. Like it's just it's something in us, man, where we can't forgive one another like we forgive white people. And again, that's another thing that has to do with white supremacy.
And
That's
Mike
why,
said,
they can flip it so easily, man. They can mess up, they can be on drugs, they can do this and do that, and then they can come back and reinvent themselves, and they have the power of the white media to
mhm.
push them in front of us and to push all those positive things in front of us, even though they messed up, and then we be cool with it and everything rocks on like it does. Like where you have black people, you mess up once, you're gonna be riding with that for a minute.
That's true. And to Mike and Joey point, Mike said, yeah, but we also have to stop digesting the BS. Love and Hip Hop, we get 10 million viewers, but only 10,000 watch the 13th. That's the T point. And then Joey said, when we get black media, all y'all want to see is Uncut and 106 in Park. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a show that is premiering that talks about 6 Mississippi women out of the Jackson, Mississippi area, kind of going off the Real Housewives. I don't think it's gonna be like Real Housewives, but they're gonna be telling their story. But when I was looking at the comments and people were talking about it, they were saying it might be some drama involved in it because that's just what sells. So my
Right.
question is, how do we start changing that narrative? How do we stop digesting the BS? Right?
Well,
stopped looking at the Shade Room posts and Lipstick Alley. I saw somebody coming about Lipstick Alley on Facebook one day. Like,
Listen,
right. What
I
do we
just
do?
got one thing to say about the show that's based in Jackson. People need to quit trying to tear down, you know what I'm saying, those women on that show. That's all I've been seeing is just the comments. Like, people have been going to these women lives and stuff like that and just tearing them down. And it's people from Mississippi. And that's what I hate. It's like, dang, you can't even give your own people a shot. You can't, like, y'all watch all this other trash, all this other ratchet stuff on TV, you know what I'm saying? But then your people get something, and you never said nothing about Phaedra and them and all them other whatever, you know what I'm saying? But when your own people get something, you want to say something. So I just think that people need to give that show a chance because they're actually, it's going, of course, it got to have some drama, but they are telling underlying stories in the show too that are important. You know what I'm saying? So get them folks a shot, man.
I get that
And then shoot them down if it's trash, man. But
because two of them my classmates, two of my classmates from Jackson State, and I know those ladies, so I wish them all the best. However, if it does fall into that same narrative, it's like at this point, it's like it's obvious.
Yeah.
Right? I see you, Jay Ward, thinking, what you got?
For one, you know, that's that Willie Lynch theory, man. Just you think to tear them down before you build them up. I believe a lot of it is jealousy. I believe a lot of it is hate. Like, are you going to watch a movie with no conflict? Are you going to watch a movie with no rise in action and fall in action? It's the same thing that, you know, and the reality shows a lot of time are scripted. We got to call it what it is. We know it's fake. So why are people outraged by it? Even Survivor, even the biggest, the Amazing Race and stuff like that. There's certain elements of it that's scripted. So we don't have to, you know, tear our show down just because, you know, I'm just not into reality shows. I'm more into scripted TV that has like a lot of lines and, you know, dialogue and things like that. But I'm not going to knock a reality show because 99% of those people who are talking down on those women, if somebody approached them and said, we want you to be on this show, they would have done it. So they can stop hating. I think there's a lot of hate involved. And there, I mean, just like we have the Shade Room TMZ for them. Like, I mean, they have shows that they watch. My mama used to watch the Daily whatever with Jesse Palmer, whatever. And it's all gossip and stuff like that. So, you know, they like it. Everybody likes it. Everybody likes controversy itself.
And this is an excellent time to transition to the next topic. Anybody got any final comments on this one? All right, hold on, say what now? Controversy sells. Black plight and black drama. So black men, I'm gonna ask you this because we do eat it up. We contribute to it. And we elevate the BS and give them viewers, 10 million viewers on Shade Room, so on and so forth. And then you see Deion Sanders was just hired at Jackson State. And you see so many comments from the outside about how he is like just ignorant, like every little thing you see a post about it, right? And then you see Lori Harvey. I don't know too much about that situation, but you see a lot of negative comments about that too. So we talked about it, and I gotta ask this question. Are we our own worst enemy when it comes to elevating black people, when it comes to helping each other out, putting that positive message out there, or tearing each other down? When it comes to tearing each other down, because you see, like I said, you see it with Deion Sanders and being hired at Jackson State, all the negative press he gets from HBCU newspaper articles. Are we our own worst enemy? Are we hurt? Go ahead.
I feel like it's the climate, man. Like a lot of people click on links that have controversial titles, and it's some HBCU media, man, that everything they post something negative or shady about Jackson State every day. I'm talking about they haven't reported on us in 8 years. Like, we've been mediocre for most of the last decade.
Mediocre.
Football wise,
we've been trash.
Mediocre. Yeah, I'm talking about we haven't had a good season since 2012, and Jackson State still at the tip of the tongue. Alcorn is still little brother. They won six straight division titles, and Jackson State get talked about more than them. I'd be mad at Jackson State too if I was everybody else. So I ain't really tripping about, the hate coming from the HBCUs. It is what it is. People know Deion Sanders finna come in and shake shit up. I don't know what people been watching, but like I follow the football team. I never saw the football team like look the same in their practice gear. You seen their practice gear, dog? It's like they are uniform in their practice gear. That's all Deion Sanders. I don't care what anybody says. So it's like, but what's crazy, man? You see black people talking about, damn, how Deion Sanders get this kid? I'm like, I put a tweet about that. I'm like, man, basically you just mad because he ain't going to the white school. That's what you asking. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I saw one, and it was like, yeah, he definitely paying these kids off. And it was
Paying on what?
and he went to
They're paying them. They pay them.
right,
The other
but
schools pay
Right.
them. The big schools pay them.
No, of course they can, but we ain't got the millionaire loans that drop bags off like that.
Yeah, right.
We got a few loans that are millionaires, of course, but I'm talking about like a school like Bama, like shit, probably 80% of their alumni association probably millionaires, so they can afford to do certain shit.
so
Like
why
Jack State, we got to raise money for it. I like what they're doing with the athletic program. I like everything Deion Sanders doing. I feel like I'm not gonna get too happy about it right now because it still got to equate to some wins. But I feel like we're on the right track. But like, you already knew black people was gonna behave, man. I expected it from the people out within the HBCU community. But when you see the black people that go to these PWIs hating, it's wild, bro.
yeah. But like I said, I saw the dude from Michigan put up a tweet talking about we paying him, and somebody takes me like, I know that dude. He didn't even really go to Michigan, but he's still hating.
You cheering for you didn't go to college and you cheering for Bama. Talking about some roll tide. Fuck out of here.
Right,
The roll tide, man.
but why we tear each other down and contribute to these shade room posts and give them so much influence over us? Jay or Rob, which one of y'all want to go first?
I'll go. I think we're trained to do that. The initial question was, are we our own worst enemy? I don't think we are, but we're conditioned to think that we're our own worst enemy. So it's like we're kind of taught to find negative. Like when Gremlin was on their high, which they, still may very well be on their high. I was congratulating them. I have no ill will in my heart towards anybody that's being successful. Do your thing. There's enough room for all of us to be successful. I just don't want our kids going to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, those schools who don't care anything about their education or their futures. They just want to win games
And make money.
and make money. That's it. And it just breaks my heart how, I was at LSU one time and I saw how they just kind of the black athletes would just show up and then go. Like they weren't in class, they weren't on campus, they weren't in any of the SGA organizations or anything like that. It's just play, go to your room. Play, we got you. Just play. And I think that's a disservice to our students. So we have to stop being our own worst enemies. And we're like, a lot of times when a Caucasian person is elevated, we automatically think they're good. But when a brother is elevated, we automatically like, I bet he this, and this, and this. We got to stop doing that. And I think we are our own worst enemy in that light. So, and a lot of time, and we have to stop proving them right too. Like Corey's boy, he did prove them right. So we have to stop doing that. But
Who?
Andrew Gillum. So
Andrew.
he proved them right.
Well, I wouldn't say he proved them right. He had his mistakes. He had his.
Boy, shut up, boy. Now.
One more thing I want to point out how a white kid can get celebrated for doing the same thing 100 black kids can do. Like Swift,
Like a running quarterback.
I gotta jump on you, Swift. Little white kid that's in the band in South Mississippi went viral for doing Jackson State shit.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every kid in
He was Alabama.
Shit. I thought he was from Gulf to the Coast. Anyway, almost every drum major in JPS and any major black school district do the same shit. But we're sharing the clip of the white kid doing it.
Everywhere.
Hey, that white boy was funky though, boy.
He ain't no funkier than the black kid in Povine. Nah,
I was just messing with
But we ate it up. We contributed to it.
they ate it up. Corey
We
Brown throw past that shit.
so we know what I'm talking about. And Jay Ward, like Taysom Hill, Johnny Manziel, Baker, that white Kappa went stupid viral. This man shimmying behind some messed up curtains, but people the
I ain't gonna even get it. I wasn't even finna
The
get
white
on.
Zeta, the white Sigma. I'm like, bro.
the white Delta. I ain't gonna lie, that white Delta did have a nice. Never mind.
Listen.
Rob,
Look at Pat.
Rob, what you think?
Are we our own worst enemy? At times we are. Why are we? One word is insecurity. Like we feel like someone winning makes us less than, and we got to get out of that. Like we got to get out of seeing one of us win makes us feel like we're losing. Like it goes back to something I saw today where people were talking about minimum wage being raised and student loans being paid off, and there were a lot of people who looked like me that were mad about it. And I was like, okay, so I got 2 jobs, I paid off my student loans, but if I see any of my homies who got student loans get paid off, to me that's a win for all of us because there's less collective debt in the black community, and that gives us more financial freedom to be able to do other things where we can all win. And so if we got that mindset where a win for you is a win for me, even if I don't get that win personally, it's a win for us collectively instead of seeing a win for one of us that looks like us and we see it as a loss for us. And we got to get out. We have to eventually fight that, man, and get out of that mentality because we can never, like, a win for Dion is not just a win for Jackson State, it's a win for the SWAC. It's a win for the whole division. Like, it's a win for all of us, and not just the SWAC, but all of these black athletes that's in middle school and high school that are pro-bound, that are going to choose Jackson State, Alcorn, all of those schools, and then bring more, eyes to Jackson State. Like Jackson State has an ESPN game coming up when the season starts. That's not just a win for us. That's a win for the SWAC.
That's unheard of, bro. The first game.
You got to get out of that. I know there's some competitive fire that comes with that, but what I saw was a competitive fire just seemed like hating to me. Like it's just straight hating, and a win for one of us is a win for us all, and we have to realize that. And at the same time, we have to work together to help each other win, and then instead of trying to hold the secrets with us and then take it somewhere else. But it's just hating, man. We got to get out of that. I can't stand it, man.
Yeah, one of the guys that owns one of those media outlets actually went live on Facebook for like 2 hours about why Deion Sanders was going to, I'm not going to get into it, but we do got to get out of there. We can't keep hating on each other and tearing each other down. Because a win for one of us is a win for all of us. Go ahead, Jay.
One thing too is just like with the black family construct. You can joke on each other all you want, but when it's someone from the outside coming in, then we all turn around and look like, who you talking about? So I think we have to have that mentality as well. Like when we're playing each other, like I joke with alphas all the time and beef with alphas, like Sigma's better, blah blah blah. But when it comes to us versus everybody else, I'm right there with you. And I've seen so much love from HBCU people in the workforce. Oh, you went to Jackson State, I went to Prairie View. It's like, let me hook you up. So it's like, in the workforce, that community is very strong. So I think we, of course you're going to want to beef with each other and all that type of stuff. Like even amongst our fraternity, the Lions beef. Like we know 09 is better than everybody else, but it's something that everybody else can't accept. So it's one of those things that, but then it turns into alpha beta versus everyone else. So, we have to be able to just love. Like I'm telling you, if Southern beats a big school, I'm going to be very excited about it. Even when you look at a Cincinnati or UCF when they were rising to the top, it's like all the small schools are rooting for them because that means like if y'all can make it to the playoff, then we can make it to the playoff. So we just have to realize that, you know, what's good for some people helps everybody else out.
Because when Howard beat that school with that quarterback, I forgot who it was.
Who?
Howard University
They
had
beat Arizona, I think. It was Arizona or UNLV. It was one of the two.
UNLV. And who was the quarterback? It was some famous
Cam Newton brother.
Yeah, Cam Newton, little brother.
And balled out. And that was a win for everybody. Like, we are actually competing with these big schools. But
like I remember cheering for Slaughorn one year when they were playing USM. Like I was like for real, I wanted them to beat it. They lost by like I heard they got cheated. They lost by like 1 point, but still it was good.
Yep. Let me go to the comments real quick before we wrap up. She run. I wish the other HBCUs would realize this opportunity for JSU could encourage other famous athletes to follow suit and change our program like Dion is about to. Our win is everyone's win. Kim said, small minds speak on small things. Fifi, I absolutely hate seeing our amazing black athletes go to these white colleges. HBCUs are just as great as other colleges, but we have to teach our kids that and not let society and the media do the opposite. True to an extent, because I ain't sending my kid to Valley or Alcorn, but I get what you're saying.
Exactly. Hell no.
I would send mine to UAPB. That's a really nice school, honestly. I'm being serious. Like the campus is amazing. Like I mean,
I would laugh at that well.
Okay, let me keep going down. Fifi again. I'm guilty of it. I applied for other colleges that weren't HBCUs. I went to University of Tennessee and got my world rocked when she saw her first Klan parade. Oh,
hey,
got your ass right on up out of there too. So, Quiz, it's easy to tear people down when you aren't happy with what you have going on in your life. When you are content with who you are and what you have, you don't have time to focus on that. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Let me go back up. I saw Mike Gates had typed something. Mike, definitely hating, like Wale said, I'm rooting for everybody black.
Say, Mike, make sure you trade me your star player next year.
For Quiz, HBCUs and corporate America is I will say this. Black people in corporate America, from what I've been seeing, have been trying to help each other out and pull each other back, pull each other up. I have.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
I hate to say it, man, but it's like before you can see somebody in corporate America and welcome with open arms, you got to feel them out, man. You got to know, what they're on, their background, because unfortunately, man, everybody black don't want to see you win, bro. They don't want to see another black person win, so they're conspire to hold you back. Not saying, luckily, I've had good encounters with most of the black people at my gig, but I will say it's a few that's like, that's the token type of guy that makes sense.
Yeah,
definitely. Yep.
Any final comments on this topic?
Yeah, we definitely are our worst enemy. I'm gonna take it back a little bit. Like I had a conversation on the app called Nextdoor. Y'all probably heard of it, but it's like a neighborhood app, and then you have your neighborhood, then you have all the neighborhoods in your area. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole bunch of bullshit on the app, though. It's like, people lose their dogs all the time, or just people,
looking for a reliable roofer.
Right, like stuff like that, and they heard gunshots or something, like stuff like that. So anyway, this dude, he posted up, he was like, why y'all keep posting about y'all hear gunshots? What is that? How's that gonna help you, or what is that gonna do, or whatever? And I'm sitting there like, okay, so you really want this to turn to the hood, because in the hood, people shoot guns and nobody says nothing. Like, y'all want to normalize the dumb shit. You want to like make hearing gunshots normal. Of course, people are gonna report this type of stuff, and that's why I said we are our worst enemy, because you are on this app complaining that people are being aware of what's going on in their neighborhood. Like, come on, people, we got to do better, man, at all times. I just think that sometimes we are our worst enemy, because sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes we feel like because we are black or we are in a black area, we can do certain things that we wouldn't do if we was on the other side of the tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not throw, you might not throw that candy wrapper out your window when you over here, But when you on this side, you'll throw your bag out the way. You know, just dumb shit, just little stuff like that, man. So I just think like we just gotta care about ourselves more, man. We gotta care about each other more, and everything will work out.
That's true. I
Sure.
agree. And I saw I think it was Sheila say Jackson State wasn't her first choice, but it was her best choice. Listen, Jackson State was the only school I applied to. I probably could have got in any school in America. But when I saw the Sunny
Me
Boom
too.
in '04, I said I am going to that school. And
I'm going, baby.
I ain't let nothing hold me back. So I knew I was gonna be at Jackson State.
Was
I
it
knew
at a high school day or?
No, my band director was actually a Jackson State graduate, so he introduced us to Jackson State, and he took us to the Jackson State versus Pine Bluff game. And if you know anything about JSU versus PB in '04, Jackson State went down there and showed the hell out. Like it was amazing. So I knew from that day on I was going to be in Jackson State. And also when I was in Upper Bound, my residential mentor person was a Signal. And he was so cool and just really taught us a lot and helped us out a lot. And from that day on, I knew I was gonna be a Signal because I saw the Qs and they was dressed like they ain't give a damn about life. And the Cap, no, and the Alphas were no. So yeah, that I think just piggyback off the first topic, having that positive black role model in your life really does change the trajectory of our black men, and we need to start putting a bit more emphasis on things outside of the entertainment industry. And Jay Ward, yes, we did have Overbound in Arkansas. Do y'all have like clean water in Shreveport?
See,
Final
now,
thought,
now you
gentlemen.
trying to tear my community down.
I
Final
just,
thought.
I think that we just gotta turn up, man. Like I said this like a couple episodes back. Like we gotta be the ones that's in the neighborhood, or at least come through or shine. Like we all pretty much doing pretty good for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think that we need to show that you don't have to be a rapper to, have nice things, have nice cars, have chains, have, watches, Rolexes and stuff like that. Like you don't have to be a rapper to have this stuff. You can just work hard and you know what I'm saying? And so people can be like, dang, what T do? Well, they say he do like some IT stuff and he sell his stuff on Hustle Hard campaign, but like okay, then what shit? Cuz got a he got this, he got like dang, like, and they will see that and they will want to emulate that instead of trapping and doing all this other stuff. So I just think that we got to be the ones because we are the cool black male. We came up from the struggle, all of us. We all from small beginnings, man. So if they see us do it and we're not rappers, like we gotta definitely show that to these folks because you don't know nothing that you don't see. So you have to see it. Real talk.
Well, I'm going to put that on a shirt. Make being a responsible black man, a good father and husband cool again. T, put that on a shirt and send it to me. I'm going to give you some money.
All right, man.
Yeah, Rob.
I just want to say, man, we got to stop talking about the lesser of us. Like, even as I was talking, I was seeing people commenting about the lesser of us. The ones that cheat and run up and down the road. Like, that's literally what we're talking about right now. And you're literally talking about it in the comments. Like, why do we focus on the lesser of us? Like, focus on your pops that worked his butt off to try to make sure that you can get out of the house. So focus on your brother that's taking care of his kids and in the community and doing this thing. Like focus on your uncle that's fixes on cars and he got all up on his fingers, but he was always at your award ceremony. Focus on those dudes, man, because those are the ones that need to be celebrated, not the ones that you constantly like to talk about. That's the lesser of us. Like, I don't know why that's like the cool thing to talk about. Second thing is we have to face our insecurities in order to be able to applaud those that look like us. That's black men and women. We have to face what we are insecure about in order to be able to work with one another. And if we do that, I think we'll be good to go. That's it.
It's me.
Yeah.
I think that I just want to go back to a point that T was making. And I don't know if I'm making T's point or debating it, but if you think about New Jack City, Ice T, light skin, Wesley Snipes, dark skin, and Ice-T was looked at. Or if you look at
He's
how
still talking.
You don't even know he go.
He still don't know he gone.
So I just, I always look at that good versus evil thing, and it's how it's like, you never see the light skinned guy kind of portrayed as evil,
Yeah,
but
man. Everything you just said, bro,
until
that's real.
until Michael Ealy hit the scene, he always either trying to start a food truck or he crazy. So,
hey, you gotta check out Michael Ealy's last movie just came out. Fatal.
It's
For
good.
real.
You always talk to somebody, man.
my last point, man, other than that, is that people tend to judge African American people based off what they see on TV and media and social media, whereas they judge other people based off their actions. So it's like I had a student once tell me that you're the first black man I've ever consistently been around, and you're a lot different than I would have imagined. So a lot of times we're just portrayed in the media as whatever. I had a kid to tell me just the other day that, rappers can't sing. I'm like, well, they're not singers, they're rappers, but there are a lot of singers who can't sing either that are successful. So just stop looking at rap music and hip hop with a negative. But yeah, I'm done.
That is not true, Queen.
Hey,
It depends on what y'all talking about, Quinn.
I got a video of my old lady having a 50-minute conversation. I'm just sitting there like,
Yeah, it depends. you gotta be like, huh? Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna post that joint, man. She gonna be mad.
Is that right?
T about to be on the couch.
Hey,
But brothers being too.
Right.
Nah, all you gotta say is, dang, for real?
Real?
Wow, they did what?
Nah, I
They
got
did.
caught one day. Denise was like, "What I just say?" I was like, "Shit, I don't even know."
Go ahead, Corey. It's on you.
Man, my final thoughts, man. I just want us to celebrate each other. We literally do not have anybody else. Like everybody conspire against us. Everybody try to look down on us. So I just want people to support and celebrate each other because we don't have that a lot. And I feel like if the last 4 to 5 years didn't show us we all we got, I don't know what else we can do. Like I don't see how people argue amongst their race every day. They wake up, be like, oh, I hate men, I hate women. I don't see how you have the energy to do that shit every day.
You ain't lying.
It's bad tendencies on both sides. All you can do is weed out the people that are not for you, that don't mean you no good, and move on with life. Like I know me personally, I'll always try to help out any brother or sister I could. That's just me. That's how I'm built, and I feel like we'll never progress if we don't, stick together amongst a lot of stuff.
And my final thoughts. Let's just bring more exposure to the positive black men doing things that are positive in the community. Let's try to stop going to Shade Room and Lipstick Alley and all these different posts and different media outlets that bring nothing but negativity to the black community. Let's stop giving it so much light and start shining a light on those that's doing good in the community and good media outlets, good podcasts, knowledgeable podcasts, people that's actually making a change in the black community.
So we need that filth sometime, though.
No, not Jay Ward, Derrick Jackson.
But see, it's a difference between negativity and filth. We can get into that another time, though.
You can't bash the women that are participating in the Busset challenge. That's
And another thing.
negativity.
hold on. Another thing. Let me say
Who's
this.
doing that? Who's bashing them?
Let me say this before I make.
It's some
Let me,
people.
let me make this last point before I make my last point. Jasmine Sullivan album was the truth. It's a great album.
Graded.
I need to listen to
About,
it.
huh?
I need to listen to it.
Well, it's great. And people are
It
celebrating.
slaps.
But there is one line in that album that women are not like, they not with it all. I pay his rent if he nasty. I've seen every black woman tear that line down. Why
If you broke woman, just say that.
if you broke?
Say that.
Right.
You can't pay his rent.
You broke.
I mean,
Just say that.
Not Corey.
Yeah.
Not Corey.
I'm just saying.
I mean, that's what they tell us, right?
Jasmine Sullivan said, if she gonna pay that man rent if he nasty, then she gonna pay that man rent. If you can't do it, that's on you.
You broke. You broke.
My boy must be a bottom feeder.
Man.
Yes. But I want to make one more comment. I forgot what the hell. Oh yeah, y'all have been asking for it. I ain't even told the guys this yet. Y'all have been asking for it. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all what y'all want. I have someone that has agreed to come on to the show.
What? Okay. By damn time.
That has agreed to come on to the show. We talked about it earlier. We talked about it yesterday, but I didn't tell her when to come on. So I think we're gonna try to get her on next week to ask us a question.
Hey.
I know y'all been asking for them to go ahead and give in. I appreciate y'all for coming on. Let me know they'll pay their rent if it's good. If it's that good, he definitely will.
And what about the clubhouse thing? Maybe sometime in the future.
Maybe a club. We might do a clubhouse. I might do a clubhouse room pretty soon. We'll see how next week goes, and then we can go from there. Let's go.
Yeah. Also, last thing I wanted to say is, seeing the news that came out in the gossip column this week with, somebody posted a picture of their new relationship. It really just took me by surprise because, I left her on red so many times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really left Lori Harvey on red, and she comes out with damn Michael B. Jordan on the Shade Room. I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it, man.
Hey, but
live your life. Live your life, Lori.
But they go back to what we've been saying.
Supposed to date. Do your thing.
Black people tearing down black people. We saw black women tearing down Lori Harvey for dating Michael B. Jordan. Y'all need to stop tearing these people down.
We ain't gonna talk about that, man. Let her live her life, man. That's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to date. She's supposed to date when she's young, man.
Absolutely.
But I had to ghost her though. You know what I'm saying? My old lady crazy. She ain't going.
But I want to thank everyone for being on tonight. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back.
Campaign.
Hey,
Kimberly Portlock. We have to get T to make that shirt so we can wear it one day.
Hell yeah. Follow us on Instagram, Brother Vent 2 for Shiggy.
All right, y'all have a good evening and good night.
Already. And that background did that. Thank you.